Sunday morning, about 7:30 here. We still have an hour before we can go register for the trail. But this is the lodge that we stayed in last night. It's pretty. It's kind of old, but it's pretty. There's a zip line over there somewhere. We saw it last night. So this lodge is 4 stories of rooms. I guess all different types of rooms because ours is just a standard double queen. You come into the lobby, a gift shop. This giant fireplace. This probably 100-year-old chandelier. And here's the Appalachian Trail. We're starting right here. And it goes up to Maine. $2,180 something miles. This is the beginning of the Amicalola Falls. This little creek. And it goes down through there, under that bridge, and falls off the top of the mountain right there. Just for those who don't know, the approach trail starts with 175 stairs to get to this little spot where we're standing right here. And then you cross over this little bridge that we're standing on to hike up 425 more stairs, totaling 600 stairs in all before you can even actually start on the approach trail. Unless you drive to the top, of course, but then you wouldn't see the waterfall, which the waterfall's worth the steps. I didn't want to. is Amicalola Falls Creek or River, I don't know what it's called. But this is where the falls comes from. And we're going back up again. So we're a little over 6 miles in. Trevor's somewhere behind me, back that way. I'm going this way. He'll catch up, I think. He's not far behind. We're kind of walking in the middle of a group of people though. We see every once in a while we'll pass each other, stopping and resting. We've got about 2.5 more miles to go before we get to Springer. And it is almost 3. Hopefully we'll make it by 5. We finally got to the top of the summit and there was no view. It was hot. It took us forever. I thought I was going to die on the way up. And then it was very much a letdown when we got there. So we went on to the shelter where it started pouring down rain right before we started eating. We got our food cooked and then it poured. So we sat for a while in the rain, eating our food, and it stopped after a little while. I can't say that was the most pleasant hike I've ever done, but we did it and we survived it. Now on to day 2 tomorrow. I've had my head lamp on and it's got my forehead red. Trevor, how do you feel?
Terrible.
You heard it. It's 12:30 at night, and I got woke up with this thunderstorm that we're having right now. And me and Trevor are the only ones that are here at Springer Mountain Shelter that slept in the shelter last night. There's probably 5 other couples and some dude sleeping in a hammock tent outside. So I hope everybody's not floating away, and it's really crazy storming outside. So here's the dilemma. This way takes us on. We're just leaving our shelter from we were back that way. So this way takes us on the AT further. This way takes us back to Amicalola. I overestimated the, difficulty level of this trail. So I think we're gonna head back today and then do something different. So I changed my mind. We decided to carry on, so we're going that way to the Appalachian Trail. That's the Benton McKay Trail. There's where we're going. How do you feel about it, Trevor?
I don't know.
All right, good. On day 1, the approach trail, we had a 2,000 foot elevation gain over the day in 10 miles. And day 2 from Springer Mountain to Hawk Mountain, we only had an elevation loss of 500 feet, but we went down 1,000 to go back up 800 more feet in the time that we were walking for the day over the 8 miles. So we've continued the AT after a little bit of thought, and feel pretty good. We're going to Hawk Mountain tonight, and we've gone about 1.5 miles so far in about 45 minutes or so. So we're doing pretty good. We've come across little cross trails. On the approach trail, there were no signs to tell you how far you had gone or where you are really. But the AT has signs that says your mileage, how far to the next spot, crossroads that come across. So it's a little better marked. And the tree blazes are much better on this too. This is what it looks like that we're walking on. Trevor's in the lead now. We kind of keep switching back and forth who's leading. So, yesterday was miserable. It's probably gonna rain today on us a little bit, but we've got some ponchos, so we should be fine. Back. Everything's super muddy after this rain. This is what we're walking through. Both sides, it's just thick as all get out. Oh, but there's some pretty flowers. This is what the AT looks like, people. If you ever wanted to see it, or wondered what it looks like, this is it. Or this is part of it anyway. The part that we're on in Georgia. Kind of looks tropical with all this green, lush surrounding. It's probably greener because it stormed so hard last night. And I hope we can get to the shelter before it storms again. It's gonna start at like 2 or 3 this afternoon. I'm not sure what this creek is, but it's pretty. There's one down that way. We gotta cross it. I wouldn't mind living out here somewhere. So we're going over there. Trevor made this one pretty easy. Here we go. Cross. Yeah, this is a little better than the other one. The other one you had to sidestep, but that's what we're crossing with this cute little spring here. That wasn't bad. we've come across this. I'm not sure exactly where we're at, Three Forks or something that last sign said, but we've come across this, which is really pretty. Almost looks like something out of a fairy tale. Here's the other side. It's very pretty. $140. So we're almost to Hawk Mountain Shelter. There it is ahead of us. We've been about 5 or 6 hours today, so we made pretty good time today. We have a spring down here somewhere and a privy probably somewhere around here. I didn't see a sign, but I'm sure there's one. And a bear box, yay. Still don't have to hang our food. This is excellent. So this is what we've been sleeping in last night. Looks pretty much the same. Ladder's on the other side, but this is what an AT shelter looks like. Little picnic table and shelter. Got a loft up there, and that's probably where we'll sleep because I felt pretty comfortable sleeping up on the loft last night, not in the wide open. Trevor, how do you feel? It's about 6:30 in the morning, and I'm the only one up except for and have some coffee real quick and start getting everything together and make some more. Trevor's over there making up his hydration pack. We're having biscuits and gravy and hash browns and Dad's breakfast. It looks disgusting, but it tastes pretty good actually. I have my coffee about done. We're about packed up. Ready to go here in a few minutes. We need to go fill our waters back up. Then we'll be off. Day 3 started at Hawk Mountain Shelter and we went to Gooch Mountain Shelter, which was about 8.6 miles. We're leaving Hawk Mountain this morning. We started uphill to get out of there, but now looks like our trail for a little while is going to be downhill, which is pleasant to start the day with. And this is what our trail looks like this morning. It's pretty much straight down that way and pretty much straight up that way. So we've got this little sliver of a trail to walk on. It don't seem scary walking on it because you can't really see down from all the trees and stuff on that. We're on day 3. Happy 4th of July. We have gone a little over a mile and a half and half of it's been uphill. So we're not doing too bad, I don't think. But anyway, if there was no trees here, it would probably be a pretty view. But you can't really see because of all the trees So we're about to carry on. We stopped for a little water break and Trevor's sitting down and getting off his feet for a minute. And now we're gonna go on. It's something similar.
I found something when I was cleaning out that building that packs when I was grabbing all my stuff. I found something that's dangerous for me.
What's that?
That Harry Potter book that has everything that you can buy from it.
Oh yeah.
The wands, the swords, and all that. Well, this is not a good idea for me to have this book.
This is the part that people don't talk about much on trails. It's the uphill climb where you can't breathe because you've been going uphill for a mile. Literally a mile. And then you look up and there's more to go. So then you're just wishing for it to go down. We're in a really good spot right now that's just kind of mildly up and down. Not anything bad. Bugs keep getting in my face, so I'm about to have to put my bug net on to get them out of the way, but it's pretty good right now. We're just kind of moseying along. We're about 5 miles in and we've got about 3 more to go. 1 o'clock. What the trail looks like right now. Just walking through the woods on the AT on the 4th of July. A neat little area. I don't know what these trees are, but they sure are pretty walking through them. Keeping it well shaded. It's cool. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's not too bad. It's very humid, but it's not hot, so it makes it a little better, and the wind keeps blowing. Getting bit by some flies, though. On our way to get some water, finishing up our morning chores to get started for the day. It's about 8 o'clock now and we've been up since about 6:30, packing everything up, cooking and eating breakfast. Now I'm filling our water up and filtering, so we have 2 liters of clean filter and 2 liters of not filtered, and we'll filter that as we go. We've got about a 7 to 10 mile hike today, depending on where we end up staying this evening, but we'll figure that out on the way. Oh, I didn't record that. Here's what we're starting out looking like today. Uphill right away. We just left the shelter and immediately uphill. So this will be fun for the next little while. Today looks like a pretty easy day though. So we should only be going uphill for about half mile or so. We're going uphill. It's tough to do first thing in the morning. Got Trevor behind me. We are 2.55 miles in, going up this ridiculous steep side of this hill. I don't think it's very high, but in the moment it seems high. This is between Gooch Gap and Lance Creek, or Lance Campground, or whatever, wherever we're going. Maybe further, but we're making good time. We're only an hour and a half in and 2 miles or something, so we're doing pretty good.
Zoom out. Too much.
We got to this little overlook that's really pretty. Let's see, way back there. I don't know how far back that goes, but it's pretty far. I'd say we've walked through a lot of that. Not too long after we got past this spot, it ended up starting to sprinkle and coming a downpour on us. So we had to poncho up and walk in the rain for about an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours.
There we go. Rainy. Hard to see. Yucky weather. My phone keeps focusing on the raindrops and not the trail. Have our ponchos on. Trevor back there. Hiking in the rain. What a glorious day to be hiking in the rain. It really feels pretty good out, but it's not awesome to hike in the downpour of rain. It's finally slacked off raining. It's not as bad as it was. Still sprinkling, but that could just be from the trees dropping rain down on us. But that rain sure did cool it off and make it feel a lot better outside. Not that it was hot, but it was humid. Now it feels pretty good. But we've been on this downhill for about half a mile or more. And Shirley will be off it soon. We decided to go past Lance Creek campsite because it's only 1 o'clock and we're still feeling good to keep going. So I think we're gonna go up to Gerard Gap Shelter or something like that. It's about 3 more miles up, but the rain has quit, which makes it easier to walk in. And it's pretty It's pretty straight down, pretty straight up from here. We have made it almost 9.5 miles today so far. And it's about 3:45 or so. I don't know why my phone keeps getting blurry. But we have probably another half mile or so before we get to the next shelter. It'll be probably close to 10 by the time we get there, give or take a few minutes.
We ended up not staying at this shelter because there was no water source going to it, and we didn't have very much water left for the rest of the night and the next day. So we just walked down to this one, ate some gummy bears, drank some water, and then hiked back out. We went on up to the next shelter, which was about 1.2 miles away from that shelter.
We're on our last mile, actually last 0.8 of a mile for the day. And then we'll be at Blood Mountain. It's been a long day, and when we get there, we'll have gone 12 miles today. We've made it to Blood Mountain shelter, and it's this rock shelter up on top of this hill. If I can even get up it. Oh gosh, this is difficult. Oh god, this is probably the coolest shelter we've been in the whole time. It's kind of snug back here in the back. Looks like an old schoolhouse almost. God, they make it hard to get up into though. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, oh wow. Let me go back in there. Oh, no bunks. We're just sleeping on the floor, I guess. Okay. Oh, so that's what it looks like inside here. Pretty cool, actually. Trevor's already got his pack on. I'm about to take mine off. Oh, that feels good.
This shelter was built in 1939, I think. So these were the views from the top of Blood Mountain that we did. Beautiful place for the end of the day hike. Beautiful sunset over the mountains. It was the clearest day we had in a while. It stopped raining on us early enough that it cleared up really nice for the end of the day. This is what our sleeping arrangements looked like most every night. Both of our sleeping pads rolled out with our sleeping bags on top of them.
It's almost 7 o'clock. I had to go to the bathroom this morning. So in order to go to the privy, the outhouse, that is, it's usually about a quarter-mile walk from where the shelter is. So I've already been hiking this morning up this trail. which is the trail that we hiked down last night. So I'm gonna get back up here and start getting our stuff together, and then we're gonna head out here in just a little bit, I think, and eat breakfast when we get to where we're going. I think we're pretty much mostly downhill today. About 3 or 4 miles of downhill. That'll be fun. But anyway, last night we hung our food because there was no bear box. So the white one's our food hanging. And that was not hard, but a different experience last night.
Day 5 coming out, we only had about a 1,300 foot elevation loss, so that wasn't too terribly bad to walk out on. We finally made it to the bottom of Blood Mountain at Neel Gap. It was 2.5 miles and we made it in about 1 hour and 45 minutes. We had to wait longer than we planned on because it was raining, and then we hustled out and got down to this outfitter store here where we bought a pizza and ate the entire thing, burning the roof of my mouth on the very first bite. We still ended up eating all of it, and it was so good. We caught a ride share with our trail family, our tramley, that we hiked on and off with throughout pretty much the whole entire section we were on. There's me dropping Trevor off to end our trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Happy trails!